To think, you know what? Maybe I just met her in the church. Who told you? You know, I just met her on the street. Maybe you did not realize. The heavens are crying, weeping day and night, thinking, only if I can have somebody help me share the gospel with him or her. And if you decide to shut your mouth, if you decide to pretend you did not know the person, God bless you. When a day will come, the heaven will ask you questions. You saw, I intentionally brought him or her your way. You know, sometimes we see people and we look at them and say, I don't even want to talk to this one. Look at the way he's looking. Did you make him? Hello? Bye. You become the maker. And then you are now the one selecting, this one is what I want, and this one I don't want. Maybe we did not realize. A fisherman cannot predict, I want the face of my fish to look like this. Can he do that? No. When a fisherman is even hungry, he goes into the middle of the river and spread his net. Maybe you did not realize there are times in which all he can get is crab. Will he not take you with all happiness? Yes. Or maybe even if it is that bad, and as he's drawing out his net, he saw octopus. Will he throw it back into the sea? No. He doesn't have an option. You and me does not have an option. The master has given us assignments. Go in as a fisher of men, fish for me. And I'm believing God will help us in Jesus' name. Amen. It is a must for you to tell others about Jesus. Because God has sent you as a watchman. For us as Christians, we are Christian fishermen. Let this word sink into your subconscious today. It is very important for us, even as a church, when those who are called to fish don't fish, you know what they do? They fight. Most churches you saw are once big and crashed. It's because the fishermen stopped fishing. The only time when people think about fighting is when, is it not an idle hand is the devil's workshop? It is when you keep thinking in your mind, you know, I'm bigger and better than the next person. You care not about their souls. That is when you keep looking, look at what he has done. You are forgetting that it is the blood of Christ that redeemed me and you. I pray God will help us in the name of Jesus. Amen. Let me tell you, the sad reality is that most Christians aren't concerned about fishing anymore. Neither are the churches they attend. Most of us give lip service to seeing the lost soul come to Jesus. We gave up fishing long time ago, but we are willing to accept a fish if he leaps into the boat by himself. Do you get that? Most of us, praise the Lord, would rather prefer just as a boat, as a fisherman going on the boat, paddling the boat on the sea. You only prefer, you know, sometimes fish do leap into the boat. That is what we want. We just want to have a church where people just walk in themselves. Let me tell you, if you embrace this word, you are deceiving yourself. Vanity upon vanity. What is it? Everything, you know. Maybe you know, I once told you, you know, sometimes we go to those homes and we saw those old aged women. And you know, maybe we are making a mistake in our mind, thinking, you know, I look beautiful more than her. Maybe you didn't realize she was once like you. The meaning is this: everything will wipe away, everything will go. Even if I have the best car today, don't forget the model I have today, tomorrow, what is it? Old model. You know, if you go and look for, if I build the best mansion, best architect, everything designed today, give another 10 years. Will it be in town? The only thing you can do that will be there for you forever is to be a fisher of men. Make up your mind. I will serve this God, and I will encourage anybody to any extent to serve this same God. You will not miss it. Amen. Let me tell you this. As I round up, let me tell us other things that happens to us if we lose the focus of evangelism. Number one, like I've told us, when fishermen don't fish, they do what? They fight. Matthew chapter 20, verse 20 to 24. Matthew what? Matthew chapter 20, verse 20 to what? 24. Let it, very good. Okay.
But Jesus answered and said, ye know not what ye ask. Are ye able to drink of the cup that I shall drink of, and to be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with? They said unto him, we are able. And he said unto them, ye shall drink indeed of my cup, and be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with. But to sit on my right hand and on my left is not mine to give, but it shall be given to them for whom it is prepared of my Father. And he said, and when the 10 heard it, they were moved in indignation against Jesus.
Amen. How do we tell other people about the love of this wonderful Jesus? How do we make sure we can convince them that it is the Messiah that we are sitting with? Do you think anybody will be moved with indignation? No. I pray God will help us in the name of Jesus. Amen. Number 2, when fishermen don't fish, they run away. What did they do? Luke 22, verse 56 to 62. Luke 22, verse 56 to 22. Let somebody else speaking.
Verse 56
to 62.
And a certain servant girl, seeing him as he sat by the fire, looked intently at him and said, this man was also with him. But he denied him, saying, woman, I do not know him. And after a little while, another saw him and said, you also are of them. But Peter said, man, I am not. Then after about an hour had passed, another confidently affirmed, saying, surely this fellow also was with him, for he is a Galilean. But Peter said, man, I do not know him what you are saying. Immediately, while he was still speaking, the rooster crowed. And the Lord turned and looked at Peter. Then Peter remembered the word of the Lord, how he had said to him, before the rooster crows, you will deny me 3 times. So Peter went out and wept bitterly.
Amen.
Amen.
Let me tell you this. That story looks very little. But the funniest thing is this. If Peter had not gone sitting with those people, if he has gone to places where he can fish, I don't mean physically looking for fish, looking for people to tell that it is the Messiah they are about to kill. Believe him, it shall be well with you. Do you think the call will broke 3 times? Sometimes, some of us make mistakes. I have told people sometimes, to whom much is given,
much is expected.
The heaven had invested a lot in some of us. And we are thinking in our mind, what has he done? Maybe you have not seen people who are intentionally left alone. There is nobody here like that. You might be thinking, maybe he has not supported me. It's a lie. If you're a good thinker, it will be a good time. It's only if you can look back and reflect in your life and see where he took me from the dunghill. He brought me to the palace. He took me from the dunghill. He presented me before him every Sunday. You think, for you to even have a heart, to be able to think, it's time to go and worship God. Do you think it's easy? You know how many people are out there? Even if you tell them the gospel from today till tomorrow, they are not bothered. When fishermen don't fish, they run away. Peter had no option than to run away. You will not run away in the name of Jesus.
Amen.
When fishermen don't fish, they forget. John 21, verse 1 to 3. The book of John, chapter 21, verse 1 to 3.
After these things, Jesus showed himself again to the disciples at the Sea of Tiberias, and in this way he showed himself. Simon Peter, Thomas called the twin, Nathanael of Cana in Galilee, the sons of Zebedee, and 2 others of his disciples were together. Simon Peter said to him, I am going fishing. They said to him, we are you also. They went out and immediately got into the boat, and that night they caught nothing. But when... Okay.
Amen.
Amen.
Do you realize what just happened there? After Jesus had gone, the disciples came together. And while together, instead of them to start doing the work, then they started talking. And they came to a point. And Peter looked at them and said, oh boy, I think I need to go and look for some fish. And he decided to go. And then everybody said, yeah, I'll follow you. Maybe you do not know. See, fishers of men can easily become a mere fisherman if you fail to make sure it is a must for you to do this job. By no chance. See, I want all everyone to raise up his head. Amen.
Amen.
Everybody look at the pastor. If there is anybody here who thinks, you know, the reason why pastor is doing that job is because it is a very pleasant job. Oh dear, dear, dear. I will easily substitute my life with yours.
Yes.
It is that bad. But you know the funny thing, you don't have an option. And the funny thing is, those things you call difficult, there are people out there who have more, even among us, who have more difficult lives than you can even ever imagine. And I used to tell us here, when I was younger in the Sunday school in Lagos, we used to have that there is this wonderful elder who used to be the most senior elder in our Sunday school in those days. I was very young, and sometimes they allowed me to teach in the church. So most of the time, we always desire to be like him one day. But you know the reason why we like it when we are younger, because after Sunday service, we'll have to wait for the preview for next week. So that means it's going to be it's always a long Sunday for me. So this elder, immediately service finished, he drives to Mr. Biggs. Mr. Biggs is just like the UK McDonald's. For those who are not from Nigeria, he drives there, buy a lot of meat pie and drinks, and come and give to us. So that is what interests me about this man. And that made me feel in my heart, he does not have trouble. One day, he told us in the Sunday school, he said, if everybody here is asked to write his problem in a sheet of paper and put in a tray, and they allow you one after the other, read it, read all those problems, and now decide which one you like. He said you will discover, you will pick your own problem. Praise the Lord. You will pick what?
Your own problem.
You might not believe it, but it said, and you look at it. You know, sometimes you only look at people after they put all the pancake. Am I right? But if they remove the pancake, or the heart of a man can be opened, and you see the amount of burden and trouble, what do you think? You know, sometimes you look and say, thank you, God bless you. I prefer my life. So sometimes, let nothing hinder you from doing this job. How many of us are ashamed of Jesus? Don't be fishers of men. Some of us might have forgotten even how to undo the hook. Some of us might not even remember where to put the strings in the hook. Some of us might not even remember you need to look for a headworm to put in the hook for the fish to come. But what I'm telling you is this: it is a must for me and you to go back, adjust our ways, and present ourselves perfectly holy to do this job. And I pray as you make up your mind, God will help us all in the name of Jesus.